story. It's not. It's not. I have a blueprint. This is a sort of video essay. Emerald Fennell's films often have really great cinematography. I like their music. I like the actors. I like everything about it except the movie. They have all the things that you would want in a film that you could say, this could be good. And that's why I say could be good. Her first debut film, Promising Young Move. Oh my God, what the Promising Young Jesus, fuck! It's a movie about a woman who has to deal with the trauma of her friend that committed suicide due to sexual assault. And she copes in a weird, funky way. So Cassie, the main character, lures men in by coming off as this helpless damsel who's too drunk and she needs your help to go home. 9 times out of 10, these men try to sexually assault her. And when they try to do this, it looks as if she is going to murder them. Really, she gives them a lecture about sexual assault and why it is bad. Now, I hate it. I hate that. I think most people wouldn't really like that premise. And you think this thing is going to happen that's very large and sends a message about sexual assault and about violence, and it just doesn't do that. It falls really, really short. I think the idea is amazing, and like I said, cinematography, music, the aesthetic, none of that is the problem for Emerald Fennell. I like all of that. I really do enjoy that in all of her films. I really like the idea that Bo Burnham is the nice guy, and even he is in this rape culture and defends rapists and his friends who sexually assaulted this woman. I really, really do enjoy that because I think it tells a really good story about the nice guy and what that means to women and what that means to be a nice guy, and that a lot of men, though they do come off as nice men, they often participate in this male hate culture wrapped around with violence and violence on women, and it's terrible. But I really do like that she included that in the film. Great, 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 great idea. Terrible movie. I hated the movie. If you're liking this video, please subscribe. I always forget to say that. Saltburn is probably my favorite out of all of her films. That is not saying Saltburn is good. This movie's writing, I believe, to be all over the place. I think the ending is really, really horrible. It reminds me too much of, and it was all a dream. I hate any kind of variation of, it was all a dream, and he wasn't who he says he was, and this isn't like, and this is a... Stop it. I feel like it's just such a lackluster fucking second grade ending to be like, and he wasn't who he said he was. Hate it. Hate it. That's mostly my problem with it. Other than, like, it's sexual but not erotic to me. None of the sex scenes were like, wow. I mean, he did fuck the ground, but I still wasn't like, wow. I think a big problem with sex scenes in this day and age, it's sex with no eroticism. And that's a lot of scenes. That's not even just sex scenes. That's just like sex in general. It's sex with no eroticism. And I think eroticism is really important because then it's just like a porno. And I don't even like to watch pornos that don't have eroticism. Fluttery and good and impactful and fucking weird and gross with the sex, but also I don't know how to explain it. It's just something so animalistic in me that's like, that's sex, but it's not erotic. It's like, I'll know it when I see it. The most recent one that people are talking about now is Wuthering Heights. Obviously, adaptation of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. We all know this. Classic literature. Classic gothic literature. My biggest gripe is a very basic gripe, and I think everybody has this gripe with this film, but that leads me to a lot of bigger themes and bigger problems with Fennell's work, and why I think it is bukkake in picture format. A picture. I feel like fucking Scorsese. A picture. The fact that they traded Heathcliff out for some whitewashed version of Heathcliff. There are really good, big, interesting themes in the classic novel, duh, and most of them are about classism and racism. And since you can't really be racist to a white guy, kind of blurs it and fucks it up. I don't care if you're gonna swap the race out for most things, but I think if it's really, really pertinent to the story that this character is black, the character is a person of color, this character is this, and they go through these things in the story because of this, I think it's really, really fucking important to keep it like that, because obviously it was that way for a reason. Obviously, Emily Bronte didn't make the character olive skin because it's fun. This is a fun house. Obviously, things matter about this. Obviously, things are put in places, and you shouldn't move them. And I know that some variations could be different. I love the Romeo plus Juliet variation of Romeo and Juliet by Baz Luhrmann. I love that. I really, really do. I love how campy it is. I like that it changes things. I love, love, love the Greta Gerwig version of Little Women. The way that Florence Pugh acts Amy March and kind of diverts the audience from what we originally thought about Amy March from the novel is beautiful. I fucking adore it. I adore it. And those things are done differently and it makes us feel different things, but they're still connected to the novel and has those main factors and what's important, the problems with what's important to the novel still in that adaptation. Now, I think you can add things to an adaptation, but I do not think it is good to subtract main themes of a novel from that adaptation. I think that's when you get really, really wonky. And I think that's when it starts to feel like, did you read Emily Bronte, but you already had this thing in mind, this idea in mind, and you just said it was Wuthering Heights? Because you wrote a completely different movie. Make another movie. Because it's got the same names, but the essence is just different. And that's the thing with taking away the classism and the racism is it has intensity, but it takes away so much of it. And I believe the intensity that it has isn't real intensity. And I see that in Saltburn. I see that in fucking Promising Young Woman. It has this, this is intense, but no, it's not. It doesn't really go there. It doesn't really take it there. It doesn't really push it somewhere where I've never seen. To take the intensity out of Bronte's fucking most amazing novel, like this work of gothic art. And what are you making? A love story? Wuthering Heights is not a love story. It's not. It's not. Even this poster is bullshit because it's not a love story. And listen, I know I'm getting intense about this, but that's because I really care about movies, and I care about movie, television, I care about books, I care about all that. And that's why it makes me really intense. This is not killing me, but I think it's bullshit to take the intensity out like that. I really do. This would have been a really great opportunity, a very great vehicle to show people Emerald Fennell can write. This is well written. This has a lot of depth. This is different from our other things. This doesn't take a sexually violent turn.
Because what are you going to do when Emerald Fennell calls you about her next project where you play Carey Mulligan's coworker in the bridal section of Harrods, and then Act 3 takes a sexually violent turn and you have to pretend to be surprised by that turn?
And adaptations are very good vehicles to do that. Just really fall short, especially on this film, which I dislike the most because of just what it takes away. I don't know, I really don't like Promising Young Woman. But this film takes away something just completely. I think it pisses me off because the novel was so great. And that's my view on it. I wrote this thing about really good movies that I think has sex and eroticism, but also sex with no eroticism with no sex. And I said Handmaiden. I said Call Me By Your Name. Specifically the scene with Timothée Chalamet and the peach. I thought that was so erotic. Nosferatu. Sinners is so erotic. Challengers is the one that I said has no sex, but it has sex, but it's not really shown, but it's super erotic. Yeah, but I guess I wanted to say that. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this turtleneck bothered you. It bothered me too. Thank you. I love you. Have a good one. Beeps.
Look what stepped up in that bitch.